Congratulations. You found the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Very well. Where do I begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
You're lucky to be here.
Thank you, sir.
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show.
And let me tell you something. I think you sound ridiculous.
Good morning. Today, I'm very proud of myself.
Live from the Twin Cities.
I don't want to ruin your day, but I have something to say.
It's the Twin Cities Hit Show.
What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion in the bank.
Let's get this hit show started.
The voice of your president of these United States.
God, he's polling well. It's scary,
Donald
isn't it?
J. Trump-alicious.
Gross.
Good morning. It's the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Twin Cities Hit Show. Who are you?
I am Don Shelby. I'm Rusty Gatenby, and I am not voting for Donald Trump. However, I do want him to stick around. Next to me,
He's job security in this industry. I'm Chuck Gollop. I am voting for Donald Trump because he has amazing hair and he's good with money. He's only gone bankrupt once.
can you imagine if he was only once? Are you sure only once?
Well, no, just once that I know of.
But he did disclose, and actually since he recorded that sound bite for our fantastic open, now he's worth $8 billion. So he's up $1 billion.
Yeah.
Which must be nice.
Good for him.
But his stuff, his comments are just getting more outrageous. And the latest about John McCain not being a hero. All he did was get captured. He likes people who don't get captured. The GOP is not happy, although he is ahead by like 11 points, like far and away ahead.
Frightening.
But here's the latest fallout from this morning.
This morning, an influential voice is calling on Donald Trump to quit the presidential race. Iowa's top newspaper, the Des Moines Register, says the billionaire cares more about promoting his brand than helping the country. An editorial says, quote, if he were merely a self-absorbed B-list celebrity, his unchecked ego could be tolerated as a source of mild amusement. But he now wants to become president.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured.
In its fiercely worded editorial, the Des Moines Register warns that Trump's comments threaten to derail not just his campaign, but the manner in which we choose our nominees for president.
Jeb Bush, he's a joke on immigration.
Trump's name-calling, the paper says, has turned him into the distraction with traction, a feckless blowhard who can generate headlines not by provoking thought, but by provoking outrage. Translation?
He's a jackass.
Trump's opponents, Lindsey Graham and Rick Perry, weighed in last night about what Perry called the cancer of Trumpism.
Being a disciplined candidate is really important, and that is, I think, what his challenge is going to be.
But Trump told Charlie Rose his opponents are only taking shots at him to get attention.
I'm leading the polls, and they've got zero. I mean, one has 1%, one has another 1%, one has zero.
A new national poll has Trump 11 points ahead of his nearest GOP opponent, though some respondents were surveyed before Trump made his comments about McCain.
He graduated last in his class at Annapolis.
Trump did finally apologize to McCain last night, sort of, after he was browbeaten into it by Fox News' Bill O'Reilly.
I want you to say something to Senator McCain tonight, man to man, right to him right now.
Certainly, if there was a misunderstanding, I would totally take that back. But hopefully I said it correctly.
What kind of fool am I?
Sing it, Sammy. So here's the hard part. It doesn't seem to hurt him at all. No matter what he says, he gains in the polls. So what does that say about us?
It's the Jesse effect.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. I'm speechless. which is rare for me. Speechless that this guy is doing so well in the polls. People have to be able to see through this. This latest McCain thing should have been the death of him. It would have been the death of any other politician.
He gained. Well, they did say part of the polling took place before he made those fantastic insights.
Yeah.
And he sticks to his gun. He just sounds like a bully child ignoramus, but he keeps making money and he keeps gaining in the polls. You just kind of sit back and shake your head and go, oh, boy.
Well, there was this borderline criminal thing he got into. I wonder if this is going to come out. I don't know if you heard. He was fined $1.3 million by a federal judge last year.
Yeah. Why am I like, what are you doing here?
No, this is a true story.
What are you doing?
Donald Trump fined after wig maker reveals use of endangered species hair. They found out that here, I'll just read the article.
You've got something up on our studio computer there. Is that The Onion?
No.
It's Farcical News.
The National Report. It's supposedly America's #1 independent news source, but I'm not necessarily buying that. But it looks like it's somewhat legit, so let's just do this. Trump's wig, crafted exclusively from him by famed New York wig makers at the Bel Air Hair Emporium in Manhattan, uses hair of the critically endangered brown spider monkey, a neotropical primate found in small numbers in and around Colombia. So he was fined by a federal judge just about a year ago, $1.3 million for the death of that endangered monkey.
This is not true.
This is true.
Okay, I'm going to do some research for you. What site are you on?
It's called The National Report.
Okay, I'm Googling, is The National Report a real... Do you want to say newspaper? What do you call it these days?
News source?
News source. Sorcerer.
We're reading Monday morning. Federal judge ruled that Bel Air would need to pay out millions in fines, and their customers, mostly of whom are celebrities and politicians, would help carry the burden of those fines. Donald Trump was...
It's a satire publication.
Damn it.
Come on. You were actually thinking this was breaking news?
I was. Hold on. Because there's a whole...
What kind of fool are you?
I Googled, what is the deal with Donald Trump's hair? Huffington Post has some stuff. Now, obviously, that makes me...
Disclaimer, the National Report is a political and news satire.
Damn it.
What kind of fool are you?
I like the story. It's very believable to me.
Yeah. Don't you think this would have gotten out before now?
No, because I figured they were so focused on his politics. You figured there'd be more talk about his hair.
You don't read The Onion and think that's real, too, do you?
It's not real? Wait, The Onion's not real?
It's not real.
Back up.
Hey, who do we have on the show today, by the way?
Will SpottedBear, very funny comedian, local.
Is he?
Yeah. Is he funny or is he real?
Is he real?
He's real.
Because you seem to log on to fake websites.
Oh, my.
Log on to some UFO websites and see what you get. How was the Tony Fly show?
It was good. There were three of us.
I saw a photo. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust just you. He had to squeeze you in.
There were three of us. It was there were a lot of us arguing over talk time.
I was going to say, and you're all three comedians, so you all have raging egos. So it's no, listen to my joke. No, I have a joke.
It probably was just a few too many people. I won't lie to you. It's Brian Miller, who's been on the show before. In fact, we just rebooked him. He'll be here in a couple weeks. Greg Coleman, who's going to be here on Thursday. Me and Tony, and you can imagine.
Can we see this on the internet, by the way?
I don't know. Can you see on the fly?
Because I went to bed early last night. I'm not going to lie. I went to bed early, and I missed it. I know they replayed it in the morning, but I slept in. No, actually, I was working on the show. I missed it.
I don't know if you can. Come on over to my house, Rusty. I have it on my DVR.
You do?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I saved it.
Can I sit on the couch I gave you?
Yeah, of course you can. You have to lounge on the couch. That's a lounging couch.
Nice. Hey, Wednesday, since it's summer, and we're loving summer, they're going to do another backyard concert here at the Southside Studios as part of the Alive and Social Network. Mark Andrews? Is it Andrews or is it Mark Andrew?
I think it's Andrew.
See if it's on that National Report page that you have for your factual news and information.
I'm fascinated by this.
Do you walk through the grocery aisle and look at the tabloids and go, wow?
Hey, the funny thing is, so I taught college.
Tom Cruise is having an alien baby?
I taught college at a very reputable college. Very, very reputable. And my students were all completely illiterate. And one of them, each day I made them research an article. And I was real big on doing research and doing it correctly. And what was her... I can't remember the exact story she did, but it was so outlandish. And it was from The Onion. I mean,
it's a joke magazine based
Yeah.
out of Madison, Wisconsin, my alma mater.
Oh, I didn't know that was based on.
Yeah, that's a Madtown.
Yeah. They stopped the paper publication here. It was kind of disappointing because I like paper newspapers.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was something along these lines. Now, this one, at least, it's well enough written that it's believable. The Onion is so out there that you have to be an idiot. Of course, I'm an idiot and I believe this, so never mind.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what was her article?
It was something to the effect of terrorists are getting their training from Hollywood, and there's terrorist training in Hollywood on how to basically blow stuff up.
Well, that is true, isn't it?
No, they don't have training camps in Universal Studios.
Hey, Mark Andrew, can you plug in and see if it's Mark Andrews or Mark Andrew?
I can.
He competed on The Voice. He got real far. Minnesota's own Mark Andrew got real
Andrew.
far on last season's American Idol. As you can hear, he's a heck of a singer, and he will be performing live in the backyard here at the Alive and Social Studios. They had quite a few live music events as part of the Alive and Social Network. You can, you know what I would do? I'd go to Blue and White Taxi.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'd log on, give him the Southside Studios address, and then you can pre-plan your ride with the Blue and White.
It's Mark
Make
Andrew.
the arrangements before. It's Andrew, without an S, so I knew that. I was saying it wrong all this time. Mark Andrew. You can go check out Mark Andrew, the live concert. There'll be food and drink here. Enjoy the summer sun as it sets in the evening, because it's an evening show. And then your Blue and White will be waiting for you when you're done. Make it a great night. Log on to Blue and White.
God, that's just beautifully written. I don't know who did that. That is amazing. Amazing set.
You know, it's supposed to heat up today, although it was a cool morning. But the country is actually having a bit of a heat wave.
Millions of Americans today will face sweltering conditions. A swath of dangerously warm temperatures will stretch from the southern plains to the east coast. The extreme heat is causing power outages and travel delays.
And when you combine scorching heat with high humidity, it will feel like more than 100 degrees in several states.
Over 20,000 customers lost power in portions of New York City on Monday due to the climate.
You know what? We lost 200,000 last week in New York, so...
Let me call you a wambulance.
Yeah.
Temperatures, leaving many without air conditioning.
Listen to this lady.
83 degrees in the house. It's horrible. It's awful. Look, I'm sweating like a pig. I just took a shower. I have to take another one. This is awful.
Sounds like my mother. Is that my mother? Is that my mother?
Could have been.
We should call her as a source of comparison, because that's my mother.
So, from what I can gather, the 7-day, 5-day forecast calls for near 90 here in Minnesota and sunshine. I think it's great. Bring it on.
It's sweltering. It's awful. I'm sweating.
No complaining, Minnesota. Think back, and it's coming round the bend here. The cold, and it's, I don't even mind those handful of days where it gets below zero so much. It's the in between where it's sloppy and dirty and wet and bleh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna soak it all in. I'm gonna grow me some freckles.
Cultivate freckles.
That's right.
Who was that? Was that Charlie Rose? Who was the first? Oh my God, he's so old school.
He's a smart guy though.
Yeah. A sweltering heat out east is coming in.
I don't know where he was born because he has a weird. Tom Brokaw had his thing.
Yeah.
When the Achille Lauro was in the news, that was Tom Brokaw's kryptonite. Achille Lauro.
Or else forget about it.
The Achille Lauro. Yeah, Charlie Rose has some weird affectation. Some Midwestern, Ohio, instead of fire, he says far. Like F-A-H-R-E. Far. I don't know what that is. What does the news report say he's from? What does the national report say Charlie Rose is from?
I am a source of great information today.
Turns out Charlie Rose
From the
is
moon.
the child of sea monkeys.
He grew up on the moon.
He grew up in an aquarium in a seedy part of New Jersey. He was raised by a...
Henderson, North Carolina, the only child
see?
of Margaret and Charles.
He seems like an only child. He was like catered to. He got the best education. Probably had a little prep school clothes.
God love him.
Smart guy, though. Does some great interviews.
Yeah.
So heading out to the ocean, by the way, evidently they're getting rowdy this summer in Long Island. Long Island.
Long Island.
There's it's not Nantucket, it's Montauk or something.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, getting rowdy this summer.
It's 4 a.m. on Saturday, and in Montauk, New York, the party is in full swing. Here, snarled traffic, fighting on the streets, and drunk patrons stumbling from bar to bar have become a weekly ritual. But this weekend, tighter controls were in effect. Last Tuesday, locals met to tell officials they'd had enough after a particularly wild 4th of July weekend. On Friday and Saturday, police issued a total of 74 town code violations.
Okay, now listen to this list. Is this bad, Mr. Police Officer?
51 parking violations, 34 traffic tickets, and made 7 arrests.
Whoa.
They responded to over 100 calls over the 2-day period.
Nothing.
It didn't seem. I was like waiting for
What did they
this.
say, 8 arrests?
7.
Yeah, we do that on a Wednesday night in Bloomington, like a Wednesday.
So why does this garner national news for Montauk or whatever?
Wow, they had 50 parking violations.
I was like, I was going, oh, wait for it, here it comes. They had 900 DWIs. No, they had 7 arrests.
How do you spell Montauk?
With an M.
Thanks, that's great.
Yeah. I think Donald Trump's wig maker vacations there. He gets drunk and then he captures the endangered monkey.
I make one mistake ever.
How many people live in Montauk? It says right there, population
3,300. That's a lot of arrests for a population. I'll give you that, but really, it's not national newsworthy.
I know. I was like, ooh, this is, it's summer. We got a heat wave. Let's talk about this. And I'm like, really? That's it?
Columbia Heights has like 3,000 people, and they do that same volume.
Where was when you were working Bloomington, did the bar zone, was that in full effect?
Oh, you mean like the 4th floor?
The 4th floor?
Yeah, oh yeah. I made a lot of overtime money and met a lot of chicks working at the 4th floor of the Mall of America. It was fun.
But did you have your own paddy wagon of rowdies every Friday, Saturday night?
Yeah, it was, and it still is. That town is Friday, Saturday nights are very, very busy.
Now, don't it's like the old, the head of the terrorist organizations. You grab one DWI guy, but isn't there like 10 that sway right by you, and you're like, that whole group should be arrested.
We've all heard the designated drunk joke, or the story, the guy walks out and he's stumbling, and the cops are all excited, and he can't get his keys in his car, and he blah, 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 and he's tripping all over the place. He gets his car started. He starts driving. They pull him over. He's sober as hell. Turns out he was the designated driver, the designated drunk. Then as a decoy, and all the drunks drove off while all the cops were focused on this guy.
Smart.
Yeah. But no, Uber and cabs and all that stuff. People are leaving their cars in parking lots. If you drive through the parking lots lately, they're sitting there. People are getting it.
Blue and white taxi.
Yeah.
They've got the biggest fleet in town. After you've had your 3rd Street brew house Lost Trout beer.
Nice product placement. That was well done.
But that had to have been kind of frustrating, right? You're busy with one group, and you can see a whole bunch of other people stumbling by.
Yeah. Well, and this stuff people do. People would come in, and drunk people would come in to bail out their drunk friends, so then you end up arresting them.
Oh, yeah. Can you call someone? Sure, I'll call someone, and then they show up drunk.
Yeah. And you tell them, be sober. Send a sober driver.
Yeah.
Show up, hey, I'm here to get Billy. Oh, you too. Okay. Happened a lot.
Oh, that's not
It's
smart.
funny. It's funny.
It's my own damn fault.
Yeah. What's the highest blood alcohol you had someone blow?
Oh, I'm sure I was in the 3s. I don't remember the exact number, but we've seen like 3.9.
Because at some point you die, right?
Oh yeah, you're supposed to be dead at 3.9.
And my daughter is going through driver's class. She just finished classroom, so she's
good. She's 24. It's about
she's
time.
She's going to do the test for her permit. She's 15, and they said the highest recorded blood alcohol was like some guy in Belgium, and he was like almost a 0.9, and he later died. I don't think from the alcohol. It was crazy. I'm like, what? I didn't think that was possible. So there, the 5 highest.
0.914 in Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
Yeah. That's number 5. Here we go. A 976 in Bergenbray, French. 1.024. Homeless Polish man, 1.4.
No, are these
pictures?
Because now you're going.
Connected.
They're not correlating. No. But are we on a fake website? You can't go over a 1, can you?
You could, I suppose. These people are mostly dying. This one,
because isn't that percentage of like a 1 is 100% alcohol in your blood, right?
Not 100%. No, it's literally 1.4%. But that is an awful high amount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 1.4% alcohol in your blood is a ridiculous amount. One of these was found, for example, on an autopsy. One was found dead in Paso Robles, California. And an autopsy showed her BAC was 1.4. And she died of organ failure. That's a good example. Now, pictures on this website, which is coed.com, so also questionable.
Yeah, I don't think that was the documented.
Yeah, the pictures
criminals.
do not go with that. Yeah. Well, CBC News says, Bulgarian man keeps coming up in all these.
Yeah, that's the one that was brought up in Ruby's classroom, I believe, and it was that 0.9 or whatever.
0.914. That's impressive. I can't even get to an 08 anymore. I can't. I'm so drunk, and I'm an 04 and ready to go to sleep. Done.
Really? Because I thought, one drink almost gets you at 08.
Yeah, it takes nothing.
I've seen you drink more than one drink. I'm calling bullshit on this.
I'd say 3 to 4 is my max. You've seen me. I've had maybe that night I had 5, and that's like a record, and that's me wasted at 5 because I just don't drink much anymore. When I went through school for this at the BCA, this is back in the days when we tested each other. So we'd do 1 or 2 days of science and application of the intoxilizer, and then on the 3rd or 4th day we flip-flop. And one day, one group came in and drank, and the other group tested them, and then the other way around. We were basically getting paid to get wasted, which was awesome. One of the funnest days of training I've ever had. But you also get to compare how you feel and how it relates to the machine that's testing you. So you really know when you're an 08 or a 10 and how you feel and what that does to you. It's pretty cool. Highly recommended. They don't do it anymore.
They don't do that anymore?
No, because there's just too much liability in paying people to drink for training.
Oh, I thought because wasn't too long ago. That's once a year you'll see a reporter go out and do that story where they get the reporter drunk and then they put them through the driver's test on the field test and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. They don't do that anymore?
No, well, they don't pay, at least for the intoxilizer school, they don't, you don't come in and get drunk anymore.
Huh.
Which is really a loss.
When I was dating that state trooper, her friend, it was her 30th birthday. I was the designated driver, so I was just having Diet Cokes.
Was the friend named Renee?
No. We will not use names. Okay. At a place, celebrating, and then we went to bring her home and had her blow, and she felt she was not drunk enough. She was like just 0.01, or what is it? How does it work? 0.08 is legal.
Yeah, no. 0.08 is not. 0.07 is legal, yeah. 0.08 is the threshold.
Okay, so she was had a 0.1 and wanted to get higher.
Oh, yeah. It's, for a drinking person.
So I'm like, we are using a breathalyzer in an opposite fashion here.
Well, I used to have one in my take-home card, so it was always nice to be able to pop out and I feel kind of drunk. Let's just see how we're doing.
Oh yeah, that would make brilliant sense. I've now I either use Blue and White Taxi or I will not even have one beer. It's just it's not worth it. I'm here to tell you it's not worth it.
I exclusively use Blue and White taxis. They're the only taxi service for me.
Log on to Blue and White. Make it a great night. Hey, where's our guest?
He just messaged me. He's running late. It's weird. You don't see comedians normally run late because they're they're very punctual.
Is that sarcasm I'm hearing?
No, they're very reliable. Very reliable.
Well, I've got some comedy stuff that I thought I'd save for our comedian, but how soon should we take a break, or should we keep
if we take a
on?
break, I think he'll just about be here by the time we're done with break.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
All right. Well, here's what we'll do then. We will take a break, and when we come back, we've got some funny stuff, including Judd Apatow tries stand-up. Tig has got a documentary that is now on Netflix. And why do we care about Tig? Well, we'll tell you. And much more stuff. All right, we'll take a quick break.
The Twin Cities Hit Show. We'll be right back.
Don't let your computer problems drive you mad. We are MacMen, Minnesota's premier tech consultants and problem solvers for Macs, mobile devices, troubleshooting, training, and much more. No more dragging your computer all over town because we come to you. We love making house calls to your home or small business. MacMen. Call 612-345-8005.
Hey everybody, my name is Joan Vorderbruggen, and I want you to tune into my new weekly podcast, Joan of Art, on the Alive and Social Network. Each week on Joan of Art, we will interview some of the most talented artists from across the Twin Cities. I'm talking painters, costume designers, filmmakers, poets. There's going to be something for everybody. You can find the Joan of Art podcast at www.aliveandsocial.com or look on Facebook for Joan of Art Podcast. Tune in weekly to Joan of Art as we investigate and celebrate people who make art.
The Rusty Gatenby Review is the entertaining show about entertainment from movies, music, and more. Award-winning TV guy Rusty Gatenby and his review is the podcast with the biggest cast in entertainment. Part of the Alive and Social Network. You can get that Minnesota connection to Hollywood and beyond any time of the day or night simply by clicking on the RustyGatenbyReview.com. That's the RustyGatenbyReview.com. Part of the Alive and Social Network.
The one and only Chart House. Your destination, whether dining for two, drinks with friends, or making up for that night with friends. Join us at the Chart House for brunch, dinner, or drinks.
Hi, I'm Josh Ripper, and I'd like to invite you to my restaurant, and I'll buy half your dinner. Go to charthouserestaurant.com to find out more.
Visit charthouserestaurant.com today for your special offer. And then come visit Chart House in person. Your table is waiting.
Let's face it, summer is short here in Minnesota, and we want to fill it up with concerts, ball games, and good times. Well, for a great night, log on to Blue and White, blueandwhitetaxi.com. Hey there, everybody, I'm Rusty Gatenby, your TV buddy, and I'm always up for a good time, but I've learned planning is part of the party. Do the pregame, do the pre-concert, and do the pre-plan. Pre-plan your ride, that is. Log on to blueandwhitetaxi.com. With the biggest fleet of taxis in town, you can enjoy every last drop of summer and get home safely and on time. No worries about money and tips. You set it all up before the fun with blueandwhitetaxi.com. Yeah, make it a great night. Log on to the Blue and White, blueandwhitetaxi.com. No shirt, no shoes? Well, that's your problem.
You're listening to the Twin Cities Hit Show. Say it fast 3 times. We just dare you.
Well, you were right.
Yeah, I was right.
Took a commercial break, and our guest
He just appeared like magic. Poof.
Yeah. He needs a microphone, though,
Yeah,
too,
he does.
Mr. Board Operator.
It does.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Will. Good to see you. Will SpottedBear, comedian extraordinaire. Okay, yep.
Is that true?
I don't know what extraordinaire means, but I do comedy.
It means the air around you is extraordinary. I don't know what that means. Hey, that's my headset you're playing with,
yeah.
but thank you.
Yeah, no, they're all out of order again.
Yeah, no, I do comedy. It's pretty fun.
I do comedy. It's pretty fun.
I've done like open mics 6 or 7 times. I really think I'm gonna get there someday.
It's usually the 8th or 9th.
I'm hoping like it's like
Stick
any
it
day
out.
now.
Stick
You
it
know
out.
what I mean?
You go once a year.
But what if they don't like me? You know what I mean? What if I'm not pretty enough? You know?
You're very pretty.
I know.
Don't say that.
I only feign vulnerability. That was my wink. That's the sound it makes.
That's good for the digital radio. Now they know when you're winking.
Yes, you do.
Did you hear about Donald Trump's hair?
What happened?
Big.
You missed
big,
it.
yeah.
This one, Chuck here, logged on to one of those satire websites and actually believed Donald Trump's hair was a wig made of exotic monkey hair.
That's believable.
You would
right?
hope. Like, it's better than that. You know what I mean? It's like if once you get the legend and the truth, you write the legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Because in 100 years, that's what we're gonna say. Like that's what. Yeah. Like that's the only thing that's gonna make sense with the pictures and stuff.
Truth becomes reality.
Man. Yeah.
Did you see the moment? We're going to blast through a couple of things. I got some comedy stuff to talk about as well. Okay. This one maybe not so funny, but man, a heated moment that's gone viral now. Let me get the facts right. But it was part of Dr. Drew's bit. He had a panel, and they were discussing, and the reason it's news now is because there's a pending lawsuit, I guess. They were discussing, does Caitlyn Jenner deserve a Courage Award just because she has come out with her transgenderness? And one of the people on the panel was a transgender person named Zoe, and she took issue with the one of the guys on the panel, who's this young Republican type dude who was like, biology is biology, facts are facts. You're a dude, you're a man, that's a woman, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, here's a bit of that exchange.
Don't necessarily mean you're male or female.
Gender.
That's Zoe. The first voice is the
female
transgender.
She sounds cute.
With gender
identity. Go ahead. No, so
especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
And she has her hand on the guy. It continues.
That seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, but wait. To be fair, but to be fair, you're actually being kind of rude. And that's not fair.
I'm sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's biologically a male is a male. Someone who's biologically male is a male.
But Mr. Shapiro, you knew very well that saying that to Zoe would be egregiously insulting.
It's not a matter of insulting or inflammatory.
It is.
No,
you
are a male. Dr. Drew is a male.
Sir, you're right. Hey, on paper, what is a fact is a fact, and I can't deny that. But you knew that going in that to saying that to Zoe would be aggressively insulting.
It's not a matter of aggressively insulting.
It is.
The entire discussion is whether we are embracing mental illness and delusion as a society. That's the entire discussion.
No. But you're avoiding the fact. You're avoiding the fact. If you want to talk facts, you're avoiding the fact. You're not a dumb man. You knew that saying that to Zoe would be incredibly hurtful.
Stop it. Roll on a last word here.
Okay.
So that went well, I thought. I thought that went very, very well.
Well,
he did
good TV.
He did the telemarketing attack where he gets the person mad and then it insults them for being mad. That's what they do to any minority group. So,
how does that work?
So you get someone like, say, transgender, black guy, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you get to the point where they get mad and you're like, see, they're uncontrollable. So what he did was say something. He basically called her
sir.
Called her sir, and called her a mental illness.
Yeah.
Which is what they did to homosexuals until the 70s.
Yeah.
And then she said something because she's in a world where like she gets attacked physically a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
So she's in a world where violence is a real thing of life. And then he goes, "How dare you use that word, civilized people?"
Yeah.
And then she's like this bad person, even though he says something obviously. It's like when a white guy calls a dude the N-word and he punches him and everyone's shocked for some reason.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. Like what? I don't know what happened. I just said this really horrible thing and then he hit me. It's crazy. The walls of society are coming down. This isn't cause and effect.
This is kind of like a day with me and Rusty. I just kind of get him irritated, and then I go, I can't
That
believe
is true.
he got irritated.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it's how it goes. Yeah.
I don't.
It's the I'm not touching you approach of politics. Where, like, you keep like an inch from his face, and then when you swat it, like, how dare you, Mommy hit me. So,
I like where you take it as the kid with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like a day with my kids, and that's exactly what
that's exactly
was.
what it is. That's exactly what it is.
In his bit that, hey, the biology and the chromosomes, you're a man, stop pretending to be a woman. What's that? How do you respond to that argument?
Well, I'm not a geneticist, but I'm pretty sure he's not either.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. No, there's some things where it's like, because they talk about like gender being a set of actions, like drag queens. That's what a drag queen is. Because what that guy does is dress up like a woman and act like a woman. And the problem is that if you ever gone to a drag show, you can't tell the women from the men. It's not because like the guys look incredibly good. It's because the women dial up their chick to 11.
Yeah.
And they all look like RuPaul.
Yeah.
Because that's what a woman like a caricature, like an exaggerated caricature. That's what a drag queen is.
Yeah.
But the reason it's that is because it's like this is what it's supposed to be. So there's actions that women and guys do, and there's been studies where I actually know about this because I took some studies in it. That like if someone was born hermaphrodite, normally what they'll do is they'll make them one or the other, right? Whichever one has the most.
Rough call there.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes there was a person that was born with both male and female. I forget the person's name offhand, and they gave her male, I believe, and then since she was 2, she's like, I'm a girl.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you're a dude. No, I'm a girl. And then and a lot of them actually commit suicide.
Oh God, yeah.
Because they grow up in this tough thing.
Yeah.
So if it was something that wasn't so, I don't know what would be the word. If people weren't like the people that have it don't have other astounding mental illnesses to go with it, and there's nothing that really goes with that would fall under the DVSM of like self-mutilation. And most of the time, like there's a part where if they go too much surgery, there's a thing to that. But most people stop at this, and that's how they identify. So the thing is like you're a man, but how come you say you're a man? Right? Because there's certain gender roles to that. Like I'm from Pittsburgh. Being a man means something different than in the Midwest. So it's one of those things like, yeah, genetically, but I've seen all of us watch musicals too. I mean, really, that's not. I mean, we've all seen Will and Grace, right? Like we've watched The L Word a couple times. We know what's up. We've snapped, so it's like
we've snapped.
Hey, yeah. So where does that line go? And the problem is that since nobody's researched it seriously, and the fact that nobody talks about it at all, that now they're going to come up with this whole like, oh, it's voodoo, and like if it was a mental illness, they probably should have worked on it before just now. And they shouldn't try to address it by insulting the person that has it, because it's like going to someone with PTSD. Hey, boom, you know what I mean? It's like sending firecrackers off. If they had it, which I don't believe they do, because there's brain chemistry stuff that where people that are transgender, there's things where like the brain chemistry acts more like a female than a male in the brain. And so that could be the argument, right? Because like it's just a bunch of wires we don't understand. If your computer breaks, you don't get how it works. Why would the human body be any different?
You call MacMen. That's a sponsor.
Right. And now Carolyn, who's a public figure, who was a well-known, and like I don't really know because she was my generation, but she was kind of a big deal. She was like a man's man because she ran or some shit or stuff.
You talking Bruce Jenner?
Yeah, Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Oh, Caitlyn now, yeah. And so when
she ran or something,
decathlon,
right,
the toughest of the Olympics,
right? So
poster child waving the flag during 1976.
It's the same thing with the American Sniper guy, right? So they made the movie. The reason he was a hero wasn't the fact that he was the best killer. The reason was after he came back as the best killer, he said, hey, we need to help out vets with PTSD. The way he died was helping a vet that was so sick and couldn't get that mental help. So what they do is focus on this other part that doesn't matter. Like, not that it doesn't matter. He's a great soldier. I'm not saying that. But the reason I adore him is because he was helping out vets till the end.
Right.
So Carolyn Jenner is helping out a bunch of kids.
Caitlyn,
whatever.
Whatever.
So the fact that she's putting that out there to where this can be talked about, that is kind of a thing. Because it could ruin her career. It's probably gonna. She could actually get killed. That's a thing. Like she's literally having her life at risk.
Yeah.
She is. I think the opposite is happening with her, though. And I think there's been a whole new movement with the Netflix show Transgender winning awards, Emmys, and all that stuff.
Right.
I think the acceptance and the conversation has begun, and it's moving forward, and it's scaring people who don't understand.
Right. But she's still in danger. It's not like gay people are safe.
To be honest, I don't fully understand it either, but I'm of the opinion, hey, do what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. I don't care.
I don't get people that date fucking ugly girls.
Yeah.
But, here we are. You know what I mean?
look me in the face and say you don't get me.
Yeah,
that hurts,
I don't.
Man. That hurts.
No, I don't get why you get attractive girls, Chuck. Chuck is these beautiful women. Have you talked to him? There's no personality.
No, I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person.
But, I mean, that's the thing. It's like just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it's not real.
And what I thought was 100% when you said, if someone's suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome, you don't throw firecrackers.
Yeah.
So even if you believe that being a transgender is an issue,
that
doesn't give me a reason to throw transgender firecrackers.
Right.
He was gender baiting. That's what he was doing.
Right. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what
I'm sure in his mind he's like, I'm just trying to have a conversation. That's a tree.
Yeah.
This guy is blue. You're a dude.
But it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing as like I'm going to beat the gay out of you.
Try it, mister.
Right. And so it's one of those things, right?
Safety word is peaches.
Yeah.
Beat the gay out of you.
That's a thing. That's a real thing. They have a whole camp for it, right?
Let's beat the gay into Chuck. Not out of him.
Oh,
into
just
him.
beat me. Please.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
So, comedy. I saw a trailer for Netflix, a documentary on Tig that I found that I have to see. You like Tig or no?
Yeah, I do. I was just gonna make a really mean joke, but then she can crush my career. No. I haven't seen the documentary yet, but I've heard about it.
Here's a moment of it.
I've had it maybe 3 times where the person going on in front of you is so good you stop being the next comic and you become an audience member.
Please welcome my friend Tig.
Please welcome the very funny Tig Notaro.
How's it going? Good. My career has always been just going steadily.
So, of course, I think most people know, certainly in the comedy world, that she had cancer and was very brave, air quotes, right?
Yeah, well, she talked about it.
She talked about it like right away.
Right.
So, in fact, here's her cancer stand-up bit is what really got people's attention. Here's a bit of that, the day she got diagnosed with cancer.
Hi, how are you? Is everybody having a good time? I have cancer. How are you? It's a good time. Diagnosed with cancer. Feels good. Just diagnosed with cancer.
They're waiting for the punchline.
Yeah, I
Oh my
know.
God. It's weird because with humor, the equation is tragedy plus time equals comedy. I am just at tragedy right now. That's just where I am in the equation.
People are starting to squirm now going,
Oh, it's fine. Here's what happened. It's very personal. Found a lump. Guys, relax. Everything's fine. I have cancer. Found a lump. Got a mammogram. You know, they're doing the ultrasound. They're like, oh, we found a lump.
Isn't this
I was like, oh, no, that's my boob.
finally a little joke?
Yeah.
They were like, no, we found a lump on the other side, too. I was like, yeah, I got one over there, too.
And just a
Those are my
little
boobs.
joke. I'm going to let this go just for another minute, just
course.
because it's
a good, finish it off, yeah. Don't kill the bit.
I ended up getting biopsies, which is painful. Feels like being stabbed. I felt like I'd been rear-ended all day and then just dropped off back at my house. I couldn't move or anything. And it was so like intrusive and horrible. And I was just like, God, after all of these like ice pick stabbing feelings, I better have cancer. Somebody over here just keeps going, oh. Oh, I think she might really have cancer. Who's taking this really bad? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It might not be okay, but I'm just saying. It's okay. You're going to be okay.
There we go.
I don't know what's going on with me.
This is off her Wikipedia. In 2014, she did at the New York Comedy Festival. She did part of her set topless, and the quote is that she showed the audience her scars, and then through the force of her showmanship, made you forget that they were there. It was a powerful, even inspiring statement about survival and recovery Yet it had the larky feel of a dare.
Yeah,
that's cool.
brave.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait to see the documentary, and it follows that whole process of her being diagnosed and how she chose to deal with it. But that moment wasn't. What was that? It wasn't comedy. It wasn't. Hey, a funny thing happened on the airport.
That's all comedy is, man. It's just talking about stuff that happens.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's the thing. You just talk about real stuff, and then eventually it becomes funny. But that was funny.
Yeah,
it's still funny even though it was real.
Do you think she knew that part of the experience was going to be trying to figure out what the hell's going on?
Yeah, but that's all comedy is. This is not what the point of jokes are. That's why you laugh at funerals.
That's true. Yeah,
yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's why I go to funerals.
You totally have to
laugh.
come to my funeral then.
Oh, we're planning on coming and laughing.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. We'll make it a real roast.
Yeah, absolutely.
They won't know it yet, but it'll make that happen. It'll be like, hey, you know me? No, of course you don't. But here's some jokes about your son. It's going to be really good. They're going to love it.
I saw one of our buddies, I'm just going to use first name, Mark, do a showcase at Joke Joint, and it was like the day his mother died or the day after. He was scheduled to do it, and he went up anyway. And I love this guy. He's just a super, super nice, sweet man. He gets up and he goes, yeah, my mother died, and I'm like really struggling with this. And he basically, his whole set was him talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's, and one of our other book comedy buddies said this, comedy is therapy for people who don't want to get better. And I think that's pretty dead on.
Yeah, I had an ex-girlfriend die, and I had a show that night, and I did it, and mostly I talked about that. It was just like it was. I made a bunch of jokes about it that I couldn't talk about at the funeral, and
that night you were able to.
Well, it wasn't. It's not. I think that's the thing with the comedy thing is that it's such a personal thing. It's the closest. It's a lot easier to get that than a hug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it's like getting a hug from a prostitute.
How much does that cost?
Huh? It depends on the prostitute.
Yeah.
But it's because it's not actual intimacy. And I think if you're a comic, the fact that you get that type of validation from a crowd of a group of strangers it would be the same reason why you couldn't get that at a funeral around everyone else.
I get the feeling, by the way, when I pay for my lap dance, that the stripper doesn't actually like me.
Well, she doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't fault it. Yeah.
I think if I didn't have the $20, she would not actually be doing that.
Right, but with comedy, it's not like we're laughing together either.
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's not. Comedy's a lot like porn, where you have an intimate relationship with the person who doesn't know who you are. Like imagine meeting a porn star, and you're like, oh man, I've shared really, really intimate moments, right? You've seen me at probably my most vulnerable. And like that's the same thing as laughing. If you get a belly laugh where the person laughs more than they can control it, that's essentially the same thing as in like an
it's
O
like
face.
anal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It hurts a little, but you're kind of into it more than you want to tell people. And then you meet that person. You're like, hey, I've built a lot more of a rapport with you than you have with me. And same thing with stand-up is that, right?
Yeah.
Is that like, it's like, hey, man, I've laughed with you for days. I've met people I laughed with for years, my entire life. And like, they're like, hey, man, you're just another dude I don't know. And it's not even their fault. It's that like they had DVDs and CDs and movies and TV shows. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, man, I met Wendy Liebman, who's like one of my favorite comics. And I just remember when I was a kid and I watched her career and like I met her and she's tiny and I'm a monster. And and I expect her to be like taller than me or my eye level. She's 4'7", I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
And then I met her and I'm like, hey, you've shaped how I do comedy, how I live my life, da 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 da. And she's like, hi, yeah, you're a guy I met. She was very sweet.
Stop blocking the sun.
Yeah, basically.
Get out of my way.
Thank you. Like, yeah, if Shrek walks up to you and like, hey, you're a good, it's that type of stuff.
She blocked me on Twitter, by the way.
I get that.
Blocked me.
Did she really?
Yeah. I was trying to connect with her on the Jew thing, and she thought I was being anti-Semitic, and she blocked me.
Dude.
Yeah.
You don't look Jewish enough on
not
paper to do that.
Me.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't look Indian enough to do that either. It's one of those things.
Oh, you're not? I thought you were Jewish.
Same thing. Was it
SpottedBear gave it away?
We both like the shiksas.
Yeah.
Am I right? What up?
Hey!
Mazel tov.
What are some of the things you do talk about? I mean, you just said you talk about you went and performed the evening that your girlfriend had died.
Yeah.
What is that like? What do you say?
I don't know. I think you're in shock. So
Yeah.
you just say whatever. I think it's one of those
Are
things.
you worried
You're
that
hoping the police don't look for you?
No,
We have a few questions for you, Mr. Spotted Bear.
No, they didn't. Shut up.
But are you searching for, at that moment, are you searching for the belly laugh? I don't think Tig necessarily was in her moment.
I don't think anyone's looking for like the belly laugh. I think if you're talking about something that's real, you talk about it and see where it comes in. But you process as much as anyone else. Same thing if you tell a story, and like if you're telling a story and you know it's messed up for a while, you try to like put in a little joke or levity or accuse the person of killing his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
You can't see the harsh look I'm giving Chuck right now, but he's very uncomfortable about it. See, it's timing.
Something happened there?
No, it's an earlier thing. It's a callback. So it's like it's one of those things. I think it's just some of the stuff you process, and that's the thing about going on stage, especially if you talk about your stuff, is that you got to talk about. There's been times I talked about things that weren't funny. Like I talked about my grandmother having Alzheimer's, and I called them Oldtimers, and someone corrected me. But like it was when I was telling something, like, hey, my grandma's got Alzheimer's. I think it's called Alzheimer's. And she goes,
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, she goes, it's Alzheimer's. I'm like, this isn't the biggest part of the story. You need to focus. I should slap you. You know, like I get you want to be correcting your grammar, Nazi, but this ain't the time. And so, but like that's the thing. When is that funny, right? So it's not funny whenever you're talking on a comedy show, but if you're talking to someone that's dealt with Alzheimer's and dementia, they'll get it, right? And that's the thing about it is like I don't joke. I don't talk about my ex. I don't talk about her very much, just cause. But if I talk to someone who had someone that was constantly sick, you know, because that was the story she had. She was pretty chronically sick. That I spent months in hospitals, and I learned to like you find funny things in that. And it's not like it's funny. It's relatable. So like if like my friend had his wife in the hospital, we joke about, hey, you know, writing stupid stuff on the whiteboard, like who's the doctor, and like, you know, hey, can I get a foot rub, shit like that. and so that's the thing that's not funny for everybody, but it's funny for someone that's going through it. And if you're going through it currently, it's like you can hear those jokes, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm the only one that thought this. I'm not the only one that got mad at my partner because they were sick. You know what I mean? Or the fact that like once they stop dying, you can get really mad at them, and you're gonna. And then you feel incredibly bad because they were just dying. But like the cool thing is that if you're mad at them, that means you're not worried about them dying anymore. Because if they're dying, they do get a pass for a while. But then they have to pay for it if they live through it, right? And that's not funny particularly. But if you know about it, it's like, oh yeah, it's communal type thing. And I think that's where pain comes in. It's more communal than informative.
Well done.
I think
my whole divorce thing came out of it was a
yours ain't
showcase.
Funny,
I know.
so sad.
It was a showcase open mic. Well, it was funny when I did it the first
funny,
time because I was pissed and angry, and I was like, I got to go on stage, all right, and I just riffed about it, and that's where I wrote that whole set on that stuff, and it was actually the funniest I think it ever was the night I just riffed it. So
because it was real, because it was on. Because that's the thing about comedy. It's not like you're telling jokes. You're sharing a bit of yourself, especially if you talk about real stuff. And so it's like you're sharing this real thing about you, so it's only going to be as true as that first time. Like I couldn't see that joke hitting as good as it did the second and third time. It might have, but like the fact that everyone started going ha ha ha. She's scared.
That
type of thing.
There were. It was nervous laughter going. I'm trying to figure out, are we being funny, or what's happening
and
here?
And then they went with her. And that's where it goes, right? And that's like good true comedies that like we're being real with ourselves and real with others. That type of stuff. Deep, right?
It's heavy.
You didn't expect me to get this deep with this stuff, yeah?
Yeah, it's heavy.
The joke that Gilbert did during a roast, it was shortly after 9/11.
Oh, the aristocrats?
Yeah.
You playing it?
I was seeing if it was here, but I just wanted that moment because that was the moment that where he said he had a connection.
Talent agent is sitting in his office.
No, this is just the
joke. No American family.
We already talked about this once, though.
Yeah, he made a joke. He made a joke that was too soon, right? Yeah. And so like I had a. So yeah, that's the thing.
He's like, sorry, I'm late. I had a flight with a connection at the Empire State Building.
Yeah, and it was like September 15th.
Oh God,
and,
too soon.
Yeah. People started screaming too soon because it wasn't funny yet, right?
Yeah. And then he dove into the dirtiest joke ever.
Right, the aristocrat
which
joke.
That's a funny documentary if you haven't seen that.
That's a good one.
Every single comedian is on that one. Judd Apatow tried some stand-up last night. You want to hear a little bit of him?
He did stand-up, Judd Apatow, the director, right?
Yeah.
He did stand-up a long time ago.
He dabbled into it, and
he was in the Young Comic special in like '86.
Was he?
He was a comic. He's established.
Because he immediately got out of it, though, it seemed. He became a writer. He had Freaks and Geeks, and then
And
you
then
know,
he just
pursued
focused his career,
that round.
Yeah.
So now he's hugely successful, of course, with 40-Year-Old Virgin and producer on Superbad, and actually a producer on Bridesmaids.
Yeah, he's a producer on any major comedies going on right now. Yeah.
And then he directed Trainwreck, which Amy Schumer's film. But this was him last night trying to get back into stand-up. You want to hear a moment?
Yeah, sure.
We'll be the three judges on America's Got Talent.
Thank you very much. I know it's not that exciting to see me. I'm not that famous. This is my level of fame. If I'm walking down the street and somebody says, "Are you Judd Apatow?" If I say no, they go, "All right."
That's so self-aware.
My kids don't find me funny, which really pisses me off because that's all I have, you know? But I think every kid thinks their dad is goofy. Even like Johnny Depp's kid must be like, "Oh God, my dad with those freaking scarves." This isn't a pirate ship, it's Costco, Dad.
That's funny.
I live with three women, three beautiful women, 3 ages of the same woman, actually. And I'm like the weird guy in the house, you know, because they have so many things in common that they can talk about. They talk about their hair and how to make the curl look right and how to wax their eyebrows. And I'm just like the weird guy just going, "Can you pop a zit on a testicle?"
Ew.
And I'm like kind of like into being like an ugly guy. I'm very pro-ugly. So it's weird living with 3 beautiful women, you know. I'm always like the troll in the corner, you know. I'm just like, you know, you don't know if people really like you and you're attractive. People like me for my personality. Beauty phase, I mean, you know, people always like me.
That's funny.
Yeah, right? He can do it.
Yeah.
He can do it.
He did a Cosby impersonation?
No, that was
Don't want to hear that.
No, so I don't want to.
Yeah, we're good.
We're done with him.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler was on the show with him because he's got this movie. I'm screening it tonight, actually. It's called Pixels.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, funny or no?
I think he's his career sense is awesome because he's like the McDonald's of comedy, right?
Yeah.
he makes a movie for $80 million. He gets $115 million back. That's good marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He took what an episode of Futurama for this Pixel movie. Because it was an episode of Futurama,
really,
that they just retook, and it looks entertaining enough. It's got enough people. You get it's McDonald's. You know that it has comics you like. I mean, what was it? Not Grandma's Boy. The one we had Adam Sandberg.
Andy Samberg?
That's my boy. It had Al Pacino in it.
Yeah.
Like, he gets these famous people because he's making a movie.
That, by the way, was Al Pacino's worst movie.
Yeah, of course. But you can tell he doesn't care. And that's the thing about it. Like, you watch Grown Ups, it's literally them just on vacation.
What a horrible movie. Yeah, it is.
But it's what it is. I mean, so it's like, yeah, he's paying people to watch his stuff. So, like, I don't know if he's, like, I think he's brilliant on that end.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hilarious.
He's my people. My people are good with marketing.
Here's the setup for Pixels.
In 1982, NASA launched a time capsule into space containing examples of our life and culture in hopes of contacting extraterrestrial life. Unfortunately, the message was taken the wrong way.
If you see the video, there's all this cool stuff like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong throwing stuff. You're like, oh man, that's Donkey Kong. Oh man, that's
real-life video games to attack us.
Oh, now it's the actors I kind of remember from some things. I kind of like, oh man, is that the dude from Game of Thrones in the moment? Oh.
You got it. So I wonder. I hope it's going to be good. It looks like they got a ton of money spent.
Yeah, $80 million. Every one of his movies makes $80 million.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But the thing is, it's going to make a lot of money because they're pushing Pixel stuff, which people like. It's got Peter Dinklage, which Game of Thrones people will watch. Also, the weirdest thing, just on that one, he was in Days of Future Past as the mutant-hating guy, but dwarfism is an actual mutation, so the Sentinels would have killed him. It's weird when they reverse politically correct stuff in a way that doesn't make sense with history. Anyway,
they
had, and like they have one scene where they have the creator of Pac-Man. I don't know if it's really him. I want to. Is it really him?
I don't know. But
so the guy's like, this is Pac-Man's my son, and he goes up to try to get Pac-Man's hand, and he bites his hand and like messes up. And he's like, kill this motherfucker!
Yeah.
It's just the best.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's funny for what it is. Yeah,
it is kind of a departure for a typical Adam Sandler movie because they're usually like
you can tell he tried.
Yeah.
But the last movies, he really didn't try. But that was his point. He just said, listen, I'm going to make really crappy movies. But the ones he tries are good. Don't Mess with the Zohan was a good movie.
Yeah, that was fun.
And like Jack and Jill was not.
No.
Bedtime Stories was okay.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that Rob Schneider gets away with any type of like red or black or Asian face. That's a weird thing that just let's get hold on. So I think he's like the last beacon for that like 60s non-PC comedy, and I think there's a place for that. You know,
was it his movie where the Native Americans got upset? Was that an Adam Sandler
Ridiculous
production?
Six?
Yeah. Has that been changed, or they just plowed ahead and went, "Who cares?"
I haven't represented my people in a while. Yeah, no one cared. There's a sports team called the Redskins. I don't think we're winning. Yeah, they're probably just gonna make the movie. We need to get over it. They're gonna wait till we get too mad, and then look how angry they are. Because that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Hey, because one of the jokes he had was he talked to a woman named Flaming Beaver. That was part of the plot. Something stupid. And he goes, "Hey, can I put my pee-pee in your teepee?" Now that's a stupid joke, but it was also used on his TV show Rules of Engagement when he had an East Indian guy, and they'd always call him Native American, and then they make those jokes. So not only is it a silly joke, I mean it rhymes, whatever. But it's a reused one, so he didn't even use original content, and that upsets me. But then then everyone in the show, the people that got mad, and now it's like, oh, but look how angry they are. Well, it's just a joke, man. It's just a joke, bro. That's what's going on. Come on, I mean, let it go. Because I mean, we totally let you. You know, like this.
Well, part of it was you sign up for an Adam Sandler movie. Hello, you should have been aware. But...
Yeah, that's right. And look how you're dressed. I mean, really, you're asking for. I mean, you're wearing high heels. I mean, that's how you get assaulted. That's what's going on.
Right.
Because in our culture, Native Americans have so many opportunities to work. Oh, that's the best. Yeah, and I mean that's fantastic. Totally. Because that's something you would expect to happen. Also, they had a Apache guy they had I think everyone was Navajo, and they had an Apache realness coordinator, which is the equivalent of having a Korean guy that knows a lot about Korea during World War II acting.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about spin in the face, going up to someone and going, "Hey, are you British?" "No, I'm German." That's pretty much the same thing. What's up, governor? You know what I mean? So, I don't mind racist, but if you're not going to be racist about the real thing, you can call me a Mexican all you want. It doesn't hurt me, but it will be more annoying. And so basically that's some of it. So there was more to it than went on, I think. But the fact is that the only reason we're talking about it is because some natives got uppity. And now it's like, oh, well, let's talk to every other native like I'm Al Sharpton. And then it's like, oh, but you know what? I mean, just ultimately it's a joke. You know what you signed up for. But one, they don't. Have you ever been an extra? They don't tell you what you're doing. They might even tell it's an Adam Sandler movie. And even if it's an Adam Sandler movie, you don't know it's going to be freaking put my pee-pee in your teepee. Because there's so many different things.
The stuff I wrote, I'm like, this isn't even funny.
Right.
There was other stuff beyond that. I'm like, this isn't even funny.
Right.
I mean, bring back Blazing Saddles, and that dealt with racism in a funny way.
Yeah. Right.
Throwing the N-word around and the whole ball of wax.
Yeah, but that was in a time when that was more allowed. Also, it was the first time it was really told on television too. It was put. It was only said once. Also,
is that it?
It was only said once. The old woman. The only one who said it.
No, I think he did it himself.
Yeah, but he
put a gun to his
white
own
guy
head.
saying to a black person the N-word. Yeah, he said it to himself.
I'm going to shoot.
Everybody, it's a nit. Don't you know that man's a nit? Don't you know that man's a nit? And so he doesn't say it. So only one woman says it, and it's the real powerful part. Where the old woman, he's holding the door for her or something. She goes, "Thanks a lot," N-word, and he just walks off. So there's only one white guy that says it. It's one of those movies where it seems like it's more racist than it is.
I could have swore that Richard Roundtree has the gun to his head.
Yeah, no,
no one moves. Or the N-word's going to get it.
He probably said it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, white people say it.
To him. Okay, yeah. But still, I think it was like...
Again, it's their word.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. All right. It's too bad that Adam Sandler wasn't swimming in more sophisticated waters if that's what he was going to try and be doing instead of pee-pee in your teepee.
He had, was it Ron Schneider? Well, I mean, that's... again, it wasn't like... Yeah, it's what it is, right? Like, he doesn't make highbrow stuff, and that's not the thing. The fact he was insultive to elders and women was kind of a thing. That was some of it. It wasn't so much the plot of the movies, how they were treating the extras that were going on towards it.
Yeah. I do like that he's loyal, Adam Sandler, loyal to his people, friends.
Yeah.
So he'll bring the same cast and crew with him through all those
Do you
projects.
think he's going to bring those same Native American extras and anything else? I don't think they're going to.
I don't think they'll go back.
Yeah, cool.
They threw in their SAG cards.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a great person. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy.
We're going to try and end on a lighter note. Here's what he said about Judd Apatow, and he were roommates. Here's what he said about Judd.
Judd Apatow, I was talking to my family yesterday about it. He's always been the sweetest, nicest, most giving guy since we were roommates, and he was just always about everybody else. We had no idea you were going to become whatever the hell you are right now. but I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. He's the sweetest, nicest guy, most honest guy I know, and I'm happy for you, boy.
You what?
You can tell he wants to insult a Native American. You can feel he's like, you're a good guy. Not like those damn natives.
All right. Well, we've killed more than an hour.
Yeah. Remember, tonight, VFW, James Valentine.
Yeah, plug away. What do we got going?
Yeah, Hesley Ray's comedy showcase at the James Valentine VFW in Uptown, starting at 8:30. It's a free show. I will be performing as well. Come out and see that. Do it.
How about you?
I got Rick McLeod's Comedy Cabaret this Friday and Saturday. I'll be headlining a geek show, so if you want to hear jokes about Darth Vader and the like,
yes,
Rick McLeod's Comedy Cabaret. That's
Where's that at?
Give me 1 second. I don't know.
It's the basement of the Welsh's Big Ten Supper Club in Arden Hills, Minnesota.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know addresses to places. I just know where I got to be.
You got the internet? You got any website action?
WillSpottedBear.com or OneChestHair.com.
One Chest Hair?
It's classy stuff. Then, what else? Yeah, at Will SpottedBear on Twitter. Find me on Facebook, Will SpottedBear. It's a pretty easy name. If you look me up on Facebook, I'm going to be the whitest guy there.
Good.
Sort of thing, yeah. Yeah, it's all one word, Spotted Bear, not Spotted Bear. I'm not a Care Bear. It's not like I'm not that adorable. It's just one word.
You're plenty adorable to be in this.
I'm pretty adorable, but Spotted Bear, not Spotted Bear. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Gotta remember that.
All right. Let's do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, we should. It'd be fun.
I've done enough of this for today.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well, sir.
And thanks for the insights.
Yeah, glad I can help. Sorry I wasn't more chuckly.
No, that's cool. We like it.
I know, I'm just feigning vulnerability.
Chuck, are you done?
I'm done. I got nothing for you people. Nothing.
Who's on the show tomorrow?
Colleen again.
Colleen Justice?
Yep.
And then
she's great.
Greg Coleman.
Greg Coleman back on Thursday.
Oh, I hate that guy. He's the worst.
he's such a douchebag.
So funny.
And then Tony Fly.
Tony Fly will be on the show.
House.
It's Chart House Thursday afternoon.
I don't have opinion.
I got to go out and grow some freckles, all right? Let's go. All right, let's do this.
Thanks for having us, guys.